All right, the other big story happening in Detroit right now, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell is in town today. He's talking about the NFL draft, which is heading here to Detroit in April. And he did a Q&A this morning with Mike Tirico from NBC Sports. And of course, Mike Tirico, he is just the king of interviewing. He's so great. And they talked about why Detroit will bring in huge crowds, of course, for the draft. But they also got into questions about officiating in the NFL, something that Lions fans here, we're pretty touchy about.
What is it about how it crosses into the cities and really takes almost a unique cultural tone? It connects with the host cities to give a little bit different version of that same event.
Well, right from the beginning, even when you're bidding for the draft, the number one thing for us is to try to tell you, do it your way. We want you to do it Detroit style, right? We want you to show what Detroit fans and the passion and the community and the downtown, if that's where the location is, and let people understand what Detroit's all about. And you won't get a bigger platform. Our draft here will probably reach 60 or 70 million people over the 3 days. There are not many opportunities to do that outside of a stadium. This is going to be where everyone's going to see the people and the places that make this community special. And that, to me, is the beauty of it. And so, to me, my encouragement to all of the leadership and the people who are organizing this, and there are so many that do an extraordinary job, is to do it your way. And I'm sure it'll be a great success if you do.
What will make this the most successful draft in history?
I'd go back to what I said before. You do it your way. You show off this community the way it deserves. To your point, what you've done in this community is amazing. I've been coming here for decades. You see what you've done physically in the downtown area, but it's really as much about the way you've come together in the public and the private sector, and you've rallied around this community, and I think people in the world should see it, and you're going to have that opportunity. So if everyone sees what Detroit really is and the passion of the people in this community, that will be a successful draft.
We spent the last 5 minutes backstage talking officiating, right? And it's a point of contention for every fan, right? But no, in all seriousness, I said this to the commissioner, and I'm happy to say it publicly too. When we broadcast a game, we're not perfect. I blew 2 identifications, 1 in each game this weekend, called the wrong player. Analyst isn't perfect. Our coaches aren't perfect. Our quarterbacks aren't perfect. They throw incompletions. Running backs miss the hole. But we ask the officials to be perfect, right? The league works at it all the time to try to get it right. And that's the appreciation, I think, as folks involved in business and involved in community and involved in trying to get it better. Either you say, it's not going to work, or you try to make it better. And I think at every level you guys do all of that. So bravo for all of that.
Well, I think it's, listen, I'm proud of our officials. They're doing an extraordinary job. They aren't perfect. It's, they're making decisions out there in a matter of seconds. But what we've seen in a variety of circumstances this year, without getting into any specifics, is they get it right and they're still criticized. And, there are 2 teams out there. So, is he offsides? Is he not offsides? You got to call it. That's just part of their job. They are the hardest working people I've seen. They take great pride in it. They're individuals who work to try to make sure they're contributing to the game. But we add technology to try to improve that too. So I'm very proud of what they do.
We have healthy debates, and that's why I love the commissioner, because he'll tell me I'm wrong, and we move on.
Tell me I'm wrong and we move on. It's good stuff from Mike Tirico. All right, but both of them were here because it was part of Visit Detroit's annual partnership meeting. And Visit Detroit is the organization that tracks visitors, convention, works on the marketing campaigns to trying to sell the city of Detroit outside of Michigan. And Rod Maloney just talked with Claude Molinari. He is the CEO of Visit Detroit, really about the growing impact of visitors to the region, not only just to downtown Detroit, but the entire area.
What an atmosphere we're in right now.
It's spectacular. I mean, the Lions are doing a tremendous job. They're carrying the day, and we have another home playoff game, which means incredible economic impact for the region. Again, each Lions home playoff game is worth about $20 million in economic impact to hotels, restaurants, lodging associations, all kinds of things. It's brilliant for our region.
And I mean, this town's coalescing in a way that we've never seen, I think. In many ways.
We're an incredible football state and football region, and of course the city of Detroit. And between the Wolverines' great moves and now the Lions doing their thing, it's just spectacular. And we're 99 days away from the NFL draft also. So again, continuing to shine a light on this city with millions of people watching from TV, seeing the drone shots, the overhead, looking at our great region. They're starting to say, wow, my perception of Detroit has to change.
Yeah, and that is the thing, right? I mean, that's what we need, we want, is that people see Detroit in a differing light.
No doubt. I mean, we are a destination. And when the NFL chooses to host one of their signature events in our city, that's a validation that this is a place that people want to come to. And we're so excited to host them.
William Clay Ford Sr. had considerable influence, and that's how we got the Super Bowl the last time. Does Sheila Ford Hamp have the ability to help us get an event like that down the line here, do you think?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, a lot of times the NFL goes to cold weather cities for the Super Bowl because they built a brand new stadium. That's what happened here. That's what happened in Minneapolis. I mean, it's not inconceivable that we could get it, but I think that's the Lions have a much better chance of winning the Super Bowl this year than we have of hosting it in the near future.
Okay. When you see the draft, I mean, the draft has become this thing that helps the NFL sort of be year-round.
Yes.
The fact that they're doing it here, what does that say? What does it mean?
Well, again, it's a complete validation of this place. When the NFL puts maybe their second biggest signature event behind the Super Bowl in Detroit, I think it shows that, wow, this place has it going on. This was a must-do for the NFL. They felt like this is a great place to host the Super Bowl, the NFL draft. And we have 6 NFL cities within a 4-hour drive of Detroit. So other cities saw 200, 300,000 attendees. We may eclipse that by a significant number.
Really? You think it's going to be bigger than usual?
I do, because no other NFL cities were within a 5-hour drive of Kansas City. We have 6 within 4 hours. So they're going to stay in our hotels, go to our restaurants, and the economic impact is significant. We may approach $200 million in economic impact just from that weekend.
Wow. So will you be asking for it again sometime soon?
Well, I think every city would love it, and it's funny. Right now, we're getting calls and talking to my counterparts in other cities who are in the running for this draft. But we would love to see about hosting it again in the future. But we've got our eyes on lots of big signature events to come to Detroit and Southeast Michigan, and we're going to continue to bring them here.
What about the timing? I mean, the Lions are surprising everybody. We had the national title and now the draft. I mean, timing is everything in this world, right?
It's so true, like comedy, right? It's really the best part. And again, I think it's fantastic. Like, the Lions won their game on Sunday. We've got another game coming this Sunday. The commissioner is here this week, today, to speak at our event, and he doesn't have to field a bunch of questions from angry Lions fans who felt that, we lost because of an official or something like that. So it's really just a perfect storm for us.
What you think that there's $200 million worth of economic value in the draft, and that will boost us. It'll give us another sort of option in terms of people understanding who and what the city is.
And I think beyond just what's going to happen that weekend, we're also looking at, there'll be 60 million people in a worldwide audience watching, and they'll be seeing drone shots and overhead views of this city and our river and the riverfront and all the skyscrapers and the construction that's going on here. Nothing talks about the success of a city's growth like a bunch of cranes in the air. And we're going to have a great opportunity to showcase our region for 3 full days across many major networks. It's going to be a fantastic opportunity, and we're going to use that. I mean, we could never afford to pay for the advertisement of this region like we're going to get during the draft.
Claude's right there. That is a huge advertisement for the city of Detroit. And again, helping people change what their perceptions are of the city. But it will also have to be execution. So when you get all of those fans who are coming from all around the country for the draft here in the spring, it's going to be what their experience are, their experience with their accommodations, things to do around here, restaurants, the public spaces. And you better believe that is going to be a coordinated effort, not only with Visit Detroit, but the Downtown Detroit Development Partnership, and also security-wise to make sure that this is an amazing event. So when people leave here, they say, we want to come back to Detroit. It's going to be very interesting to watch, and also that economic impact that will flow through so many places here in the spring.